Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate consumers, grow their practices, and to leave a legacy. We're doing a series of spotlights on remarkable advisors across the country. Joining me on this segment is Roshani Pandey. She's the founder of True Root Financial, based out of San Francisco. Roshani, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Roshani, tell us a little bit about your work, and specifically, who are the types of people that you specialize in helping?
Sure. Yes, so we are a 100% women-owned financial advisory firm. We do financial planning and investing for individuals and families. And what sets us apart from most other advisors out there is that we've taken a fiduciary oath to always put our clients' interests before that of ourselves or that of our firm. And this is, we took this oath by choice, of course, and it's a legally binding oath. And the reason for that was that we wouldn't want to work ourselves with an advisor who hasn't taken this oath, who will not always put our interest first. So that's the reason why we go by this oath, and that's what we do. The clients that, yeah,
go ahead. Yeah, so you specialize in women, you mentioned. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. Well, we specialize in business owners, entrepreneurs, doctors, and also tech professionals. It's 100% women-owned business. So it's owned by women, but it's for everybody.
I see. Okay, perfect. So the folks that you specialize in working with, do you find that they have special requirements or different needs than everyone else? What are their biggest concerns?
Yes. Their biggest concerns, well, with COVID, what's happened is that the spotlight, I know you mentioned spotlight, but the real spotlight has become really in their lives itself. Whereas before, the spotlight was everything that was going on outside. But now people are looking at their lives and saying, do I want to live in this house? Do I want to live in this city? Do I find the work that I'm doing satisfying? And so that's led to a lot of questions around finances, and every question in your life is really, it has some financial planning element to it. And so, that's what we've been helping clients with. And for entrepreneurs, especially, this has been a great time to start a business or to grow your business or to go into different kinds of segments, because all this disruption has also opened a lot of opportunities. And so I help do a lot of planning around that. It has also led to a lot of exits, businesses being sold, and entrepreneurs getting a lot of cash from those sales. So I help them invest the cash, decide where it should be invested, how much they need for their own personal cash flows, and how much should go back into the market or different types of investments.
Pandemic seems to have really shaken things up a bit, shined a spotlight on people's real need to have their financial houses in order. Have you found that it's done anything else? Like, are the questions you're getting different today than they were before? Have people realized that they don't know enough about their finances and they really need to get it in order? What have you been hearing?
Yes, definitely. It's really made it more important for people to have clarity on what's actually going on. So for example, looking at their balance sheet, how much assets do they have? How much liabilities do they have? What is their net worth? Looking at cash flows, how much is coming in? How much is going out? How much am I paying in taxes? Can I do anything to improve my cash flows? And then it's also kind of looking at the ripple effect around the world with inflation, for example. It's made clients realize that the prices of everything has gone up. So if they sit in cash for too long, that means their cash is actually losing value because the prices around them are going up. So that's also caused a lot of questions in clients' minds around finances. So I would say, first of all, clarity of what's actually going on in their financial lives, and looking at outside, externally, what's happening, and then kind of trying to reconcile the two has been top of mind for many of my clients.
And speaking of clarity, we live in an age of overwhelm and too much information out there. And that often leads to misconceptions and misinformation. Do you find that there are some common things that people don't quite have right? Any myths or misconceptions around their finances that you've been hearing?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of this, not always, but sometimes there is kind of a hesitation to pay for advice. People think that if they have been successful at one thing, they know everything about investing in stocks. And when you see the market going up so much, you think that any kind of investing will make money in the long term. But that is not true, as history and data shows us. There are definitely recessions that happened and they can be really painful, like the 2008 recession, for example. But beyond that, also having clarity around your goals is really important. It's not just enough to just invest in the market and just see it go up and down. You also need to know what you're investing for, what are the most important things to you in life, and doing all of those, achieving all of those goals in the most tax efficient, most cost efficient way is very important. And that's where a financial advisor can really help you, especially if they've taken a fiduciary oath, where they will always put the client's interest first. And so, this hesitation to pay for advice sometimes actually causes a bigger detriment to clients themselves, because any advisor that's worth their salt will actually give you back a lot more than what you pay for in the long run.
I know
So I would
some
say that,
folks that are
yeah.
like
Mhm.
that are hesitant to
Yeah,
pay, and it's like you realize that finances, that's a full-time job to keep up with the trends and what's happening in the financial world today. And people are naive to think that they know it all when there's
exactly.
always something to be updated about. Roshani,
Exactly.
as you work with
Mhm.
folks, do you find like a
Yeah.
common do you find folks hold a common mistake or a pitfall that you see over and over again with each people's accounts, and something that they're glaringly doing wrong and they don't realize? Any mistakes or
Mhm.
pitfalls?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, one of the things I think is just zeroing in too much on things that are not really that important in their life. Sometimes clients get so caught up in, say, generating cash flow, but then they have this chunk of cash just sitting here, not earning anything. So my first advice to clients often is, let's invest what you already have rather than trying to generate additional cash flow, because sometimes, not always, but sometimes when you're trying to generate cash flow, you often go into investments that are very, very risky or that have a high tax aspect to it. So I would say, in general, focusing on little things that are not that important, and kind of missing the big picture is something that I often see with clients. That's why I emphasize clarity so much, and working with somebody who knows the entire spectrum rather than just one small aspect only. That is so important, because that person can give you a full 360-degree picture of what's going on in your finances completely, rather than just one part of it.
That's a great insight. Roshani, what inspired you to get into this field and help people with their finances? How did you get started?
Yeah, yeah. So I heard this saying a few weeks ago, that your purpose in life is to find your gift, which means to find what you're really good at. And then the meaning of life is to give that gift away. I'll say it one more time. The purpose of life is to find your gift, so something you're really good at. And then the meaning of life is to give that gift away. So I think my purpose has been to really understand finances, and to be able to really master financial planning and investing, which I've done for many years, by the work that I've done by working in Wall Street for over 16 years, by working in different types of firms, very large firms like Goldman Sachs and BlackRock, and also smaller firms, and through all the certifications and studying that I've done in this field. So I feel like this is a gift that I have kind of earned. This is not something that just came to me out of the blue, but it's something I've worked really hard for. And the greatest satisfaction I get is when I help clients, when I give this gift away and I'm able to really improve somebody's life. And that is the biggest satisfaction for me. So that's how I got started in this business. And that's what inspired me to open my own firm and start helping clients.
That's terrific. Roshani, for folks listening, before I ask you my last question, if someone out there wants to get their financial houses in order, but they don't know quite where to start, what would you say is the most important thing they should consider when choosing an advisor to work with?
Yes. I think the most important thing is to understand if the advisor has your best interests at heart. And of course, you don't know if they do or not because you can't really look into people's hearts right away. However, one easy way to know that is to see if they have taken this fiduciary oath. If they are a fiduciary advisor, then they are required by law to always put the client's interest first. So make sure you only work with these types of advisors who have taken the fiduciary oath. And you might also find advisors who are kind of a hybrid, who might be an advisor at certain times, then who might be just a broker at certain times. And you don't know when they're acting as one or the other. So make sure you only work with fiduciary advisors who are 100% fiduciary advisors all the time. I think that's one of the most important things. And then there are many other important things as well. I actually wrote a blog piece about this recently, so it's in my website as well, and I can provide a link to that there.
Fantastic. For folks listening that would love to speak with you, how do they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Yeah. So my website is www.truerootfinancial. So TRUEROOT financial.com. And they can find me there, set up a call if they want to talk to me more, and read my blogs there as well.
This has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you so much, Mark. This has been great. Thank you.
Roshani Pandey, and she's the founder of True Root Financial, based out of San Francisco, California. This segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate their consumers, grow their practices, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.